Do you have all your home studio equipments but have no idea how to connect them and make it all work? Well, this video is for you. Let's start with the input connections. We have a microphone that could be an input. So you take an XLR cable, connect it into the microphone, and the output of the XLR cable goes into your interface. That's the connection for microphone. If you want to connect your guitar, connect the instrument cable into your guitar and the output of that cable into the interface. If you want to connect your MIDI keyboard, connect the input of that MIDI cable into your MIDI keyboard, and the output directly goes to your laptop because usually it will be a USB. So if you have a Mac and if you don't have a USB connection, just buy a connector and just place it inside that. So these could be your 3 input connections. Now what happens to your interface? Interface is getting connected into your laptop. So basically you have an output which is usually a C-type pin. You connect it to your interface and the output directly goes into your laptop, which again in my case I'm using connectors. Now before we get into the output section, just make sure that your connections are not hanging from a table and just dropping down. Just make sure they're all tight so that you don't have any loose connection, because that's going to give you a lot of unwanted noise and it's just going to give a buzz sound which you don't need. So just make sure everything is placed on a table, nothing is hanging and everything is set right. If you followed my videos and have not subscribed yet, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel and share this with your fellow producers and music lovers so that it will also inspire me to continue making more tutorials and grow the audience. So section 2 is about outputs. So where are you going to listen to it? You might think you can connect your headphones to your laptop and do it, which is okay if you are outside and you're working on a mixing project or something, but I wouldn't recommend that always because you don't have a lot of volume flexibilities, especially when you start out with, recording and mixing and mastering. So the first option that I would give you is connect your headphones to your interface directly, and you have a dedicated headphones knob on your interface. Every interface will always have that monitor knob which you can control, and that can control the volume of the playback. So use this as your starting point to hear the output. Another option if you want to upgrade is to use speakers. So you connect the left speaker and the right speaker at the back of the interface. You'll have dedicated slots. Put them in, and behind your speakers you will see a connection for the instrument cable jack. Output of the interface goes through the left or the right speaker, goes into the speaker. So you have a connection behind that you can put. Also, there are 2 types of speakers, one which you can power or one that doesn't need power. But what I have right now are powered speakers. So I have another cable connected into it which gives me that power supply through my current. So it just happens through that. So I have another cable which gives me power supply. So that's how my speakers are turned on. So these are probably the 2 output places through which you'll be able to hear music. So either through your headphones or through your speakers. So again, a tip over here, when you are recording, always use headphones because you don't want what you record, the output that you hear on your speakers shouldn't come into it. And that's not going to happen when you wear headphones. So consider using headphones, and maybe after you completed recording and if you want to just listen to it, use your speakers. So this is about the output connections. So before moving into the last section, if you are looking for a mixing and mastering engineer for your tracks and to make it enhanced and sound good, don't forget to click the email that you see on the screen and send me an email. I will be happy to mix your tracks. The last point is to go through your settings inside your software. Whatever software you use, you need to configure the input and the output and the input number that you are using in order to start recording. So you have to go into settings and preferences into your desired DAW. Mine is Logic Pro. So this is where I have my input and output configuration. Change them both into your interface. If you're thinking why, because your input inevitably goes through your interface, right? Whether it's guitars like instruments or mic, they both get into your interface except for MIDI. And output is always connected to your interface as well, whether it is going to be your headphones or your speakers. So input and output must both be configured to your interface. And number 2, when you are recording, make sure you keep your buffer size low. If you're wondering what buffer size is, that's how delayed you're going to get the playback. Okay, so when I'm speaking through my microphone, I actually have to hear it immediately, especially while recording, right? When I sing, I need to hear myself immediately. There shouldn't be any delay. And buffer size is going to give you that delay. So keep it very less when you are recording. Don't forget to change it back when you are processing. It doesn't matter when you change it really, because it doesn't have implication on the quality. But while recording, I usually keep it either at 64 or 128. And after you've completed recording, if you want to add effects and stuff, you can like go ahead and change it to 512 or 1024, the higher one. After you do all these connections, if you have a condenser mic like what I had, then you have to press the phantom power that you see on your interface, which is a plus 48 volt. You need to turn that on. For a dynamic mic, that is not needed. So you turn that on, you will have a dedicated gain knob on your input. You need to move that up. That's basically you're amplifying your signal into the software. An interface is going to convert an analog signal, which is what I'm talking, into a digital signal that can be read by softwares and computers. Before that, also what you need to do is to check if you've connected the right input. Okay, sure, you have selected your interface as your input output, but your interface might have multiple inputs, right? Even in my interface, I showed you one for my connection and one for instrument connection. So input 1 and input 2. If you are recording mic and you've connected it into input 1, make sure you choose input 1 inside your software as well. Otherwise, it's not going to detect the volume out of any mic or any instrument. So you need to choose the right input. Like for example, if I'm choosing instrument, my input will be 2. So I need to choose it inside my DAW. So make sure you choose the right input and the right output. And with that, your connections are done. Just try talking into your mic and you're going to see like a green signal spike into your software. So now that you have finished connecting all your equipment, you need to know how to record your vocals properly. How much volume can you boost on your interface, or can you boost it inside your DAW? What are the right levels, healthy level of signal? Can you add effects while recording? We're going to answer all these questions in the third part of this series. But if you have any doubts in this video, don't forget to comment them down. And if you have any doubts, any questions or another video idea, comment them below and I'll be happy to read your comments. I hope this video was useful. Thank you so much for watching. This is Florina Jain, otherwise known as Flow of Music, and I'll see you guys in part 3 of this video.